What's up, y'all? This is KAZ, and I want to give you the heads up on Cactus Plant Flea Market's latest collab with McDonald's. Cactus Plant Flea Market is the leading streetwear brand. Its drops are always highly coveted, and its brand is blessed by some of the biggest names in hip-hop culture. McDonald's is teaming up with Cactus Plant Flea Market to launch the Cactus Plant Flea Market Box, a limited edition, first of its kind collab. What's in the Cactus Plant Flea Market Box? You could choose a Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with medium fries and medium drink. Plus, every box has an exclusive Cactus Plant Flea Market collectible. Plus, you can buy McDonald's Cactus Plant Flea Market merch at ctfmmcdonalds.com. Order your Cactus Plant Flea Market box on the McDonald's app for your chance at drops you don't want to miss. The more you order through the app, the greater your chance to win exclusive McDonald's and Cactus Plant Flea Market merch. Sweepstakes ends October 30th, 2022 at 11:59 p.m. Refer to rules at mcdartistresidency.com for no purchase instructions. Purchase entry only available using MCD app. Must be opted into My McDonald's Rewards. Entry is limited to 1 time a day. The Cactus Plant Flea Market box is available at participating McDonald's for a limited time while supplies last.
I rushed the judgment. I said some things that
Twitter fingers.
You know what?
Yes.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
Not even that.
Yes.
Okay.
You rushed, and this is not it's not no detriment to your character.
I didn't tear nobody down.
No.
I didn't call nobody out their name.
You didn't disrespect anybody.
But I was just wildly inaccurate.
Right. And
I was like, yeah,
and I was just like, I'm like, all right, yo, don't go there yet. Like, don't do it. And he was like, nah, yo, you know what? I'm like, I said,
here we go.
I said, all right.
Hold my beer.
I'm like, yo, come on, bro. Like, let's not do this.
Get off your phone, Lo.
Well, get off your goddamn phone.
You're just on your shit. What the fuck are you
Get
yelling
off
at
your
me
goddamn
about?
Children!
phone,
The fuck?
Kids! Hello. Classes in session. Yo, y'all. The way y'all were arguing last episode.
Bro, the nigga was just on his phone. He want to yell at me.
Was like 2 high schoolers. He's like, I got hang time, man. No, you don't.
Nah, nigga, don't pick and choose when you want to. No, nigga, you was just on your phone 30 seconds ago. Go ahead,
What's
Rosy.
poppin', people? Welcome back to another episode of Say Less with
Yo, this nigga, why, yo, he always has selective
With
deals. I
Kaz.
don't got time for this bullshit,
Kaz
bro.
might be here, might not. We don't know.
I don't give a fuck, man. Yo, get out of here.
Lowkey
What's poppin'?
and Rosy. And
No.
I think he's broken.
No, he got mad
He
because I
break-
called him out on being late. That's why he stopped talking.
He ignored us.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's when he started ignoring us. I'm
Hold
like,
on.
yeah, nigga, you was 30 minutes late.
I don't want to see what he's
It
thinking
didn't
about.
respond to the text when I was like, yo, Kaz, where you at?
Kaz, you should be used to this by now.
Nigga gonna walk in and talk about, what's up, y'all?
Oh, wait.
Word.
He's awake.
Nah, like, he do this shit a lot. But I want to see what he about to say. Go ahead.
Okay. Here's he. He's here. Up. He's here.
No, go ahead.
Make sure you subscribe to youtube.com.
Exactly. Yeah.
Make sure you go to our Patreon,
Yeah.
patreon.com/sayless.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe to YouTube, Say Less with KAZ, Lowkey, and Rosy. Everywhere you listen to podcasts. I have to talk to you guys.
About tardiness?
No, not about tardiness.
You
Because
don't wanna- you-
it's traffic, man. What the fuck you gonna do?
That's facts.
What the fuck you gonna do? All right. I have to talk about you guys because I promised you an episode last week with Swerve Strickland, which you will get
Swerve.
one way or the other. It was a great episode. We recorded it right after he was at Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Fresh off of that, great interview, great conversation. He is the most frequented guest on Say Less history.
He's
To
the
say
fourth-
less was like
host.
four or five times?
fourth appearance on the show. And we love Swerve here, so you will get that episode. However, that episode was also taped the same day as the topic of discussion today.
Oh. I was not okay. Okay, so
The pause was crazy.
So let me just say, guys, I was not here for that recording.
Rosy was not here
I was
for the
not
recording.
here. I do know about what happened, but I was not here, so there was no female input on
Yeah.
any of this
That's
conversation.
what we're gonna do today, guys.
So I want to know what was said.
Today, the word of today is called accountability. Okay?
Shout out to Shaq.
And I'm just gonna say that it kind of worked out in our benefit because we are it's still a great episode. Can't wait for people to hear it. But there was some technical stuff and like it just so we were just like as it was happening, I was just listening to what I was saying. I was just like. So here's the thing. We recorded that episode literally 30 minutes, maybe, give or take, Jake, 30, 45 minutes after the Ime Udoka news had hit.
I mean,
Rosy wasn't here. She was on FaceTime. We got her for like 5 minutes
I lost service.
on the phone. We lost the service.
Wait, 30 minutes in.
About 30 minutes. Like,
So y'all heard it and decided to be like, hey.
I was literally en route to the studio as like news is breaking that he's probably going to be suspended for this season, and the press conference hadn't happened yet. The only thing I had known up until taping time was the Woj bomb the night before,
Yes.
without much details. The outrage that it wasn't getting covered as much as a story, in my opinion, that I thought deserved more coverage was Brett Favre, welfare, Mississippi. And not gonna lie to y'all, man. Might have said some things kind of regret in hindsight.
What did you
Might have
say,
defended
Kaz?
one party a little bit too much over the other.
What did I say, Jake?
Who did you defend?
Jake, what did I say to him?
All right, as a
tread
person
careful.
that wasn't here,
I said tread lightly,
I
right?
Here's
need
the
to
thing.
know what was said.
I stand by what I said about, and I'll put it like this. One of these days, you will hear, I will put the episode out in its entirety. You don't have to pay.
I'm pissed.
I'll put the episode out in its entirety one of these days. But you will get the Swerve interview very soon. But
What did you say?
I've never heard Kaz like this.
no, here's the
I
thing.
have to ask that shit one more time.
No, here's the thing.
No.
That's my story. Can I talk about it? So what I'm saying is, okay, I don't take back what I said about cheating in general because I do believe, yes,
Damn it.
anybody can get cheated on.
Kaz, they haven't
obviously.
heard the episode, so you might want to.
Yeah, the context is going to get lost.
So okay, so I went off of this episode only from thinking I didn't think that a person's personal infidelity warranted this much coverage when something else was happening that I felt was probably more important at the moment. It's come to my attention. It's come to many people's attention. Maybe we didn't get all the details. Maybe we didn't really, we might have rushed the judgment a little bit. And to my own, I'll take it on the chin. If you guys didn't want the episode, it was my choice to be like, hey, you know what? Let's pause on this one a little bit. And that was kind of the big discussion around like sports talk and just radio talk, because this story kind of touches all cultures. Obviously the Nia Long of it, obviously the sports side of it, obviously the political and all this other shit. But I rushed the judgment. I said some things that
Twitter fingers?
Nah, you know what?
Yes.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
Not
Yes,
even that.
yes.
Okay.
You rushed, and this is not it's not no detriment to your character.
I didn't tear nobody
No.
down. I didn't call nobody out their name.
You didn't disrespect anybody.
But I was just wildly inaccurate.
Right. And
I was like, yeah,
and I was just
that's
like,
crazy.
I'm like, all right, yo, don't go there yet. Like,
Right.
don't do it. And he was like, nah, yo, you know what? I'm like, I said,
Here we go.
I said, all right.
Hold my beer.
I'm like, yo, come on, bro. Like, let's not do this.
Nah, because fuck
Nah,
that.
cause fuck. I'm like, okay.
Nah, because obviously,
That's what it
how it
was.
started.
Nah, because okay.
obviously, I had my own thoughts on just I'm always very defendant about like when black people of stature get kind of hung out to dry like that. I'm always just like, nah, son, you know what's happening here, B. You know what I mean? Like, I always get
but
to
you
that
gotta
bag.
wait to collect, and that's
Boy.
why I didn't have too much to say about it either. Boy, you had a mouthful.
I have a whole lot.
I mean, no, it wasn't a whole. It was just enough.
It was just, you know what?
It was just enough.
You know what? J. Cole, a wise man named J. Cole once said was, "The good news is, brother, you went the long way. The bad news is." You went the wrong way, and I went the completely wrong way. But I didn't disrespect nobody. I was just offering my assessment of the situation. I thought it was typical Boston being Boston. I thought it was typical. You know, we about to hang this black man out to dry. And
I mean, elements of your point are still very valid.
Very valid.
I think it's your message wasn't lost.
Yeah,
your delivery was horrible.
I don't take it back.
That's why I said your message wasn't lost.
Right.
But your delivery was horrible.
Right.
It was just too soon.
It was one of those things where, like,
too hot and too soon.
It was one of those things where if it dropped Monday,
he had it Monday night. And it's like, yeah, you might want to wait till Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
This
I don't
nigga
know what
went.
the fuck was said.
We'll send you the episode, and when you hear it, you'll be like, oh, that's what y'all meant. That's what y'all meant.
Get it on Patreon.
Yeah, you get on the Patreon, though. I'll put the whole thing out there one day. But you know what? Whatever. I said it.
I mean, it is what it is.
No,
like you said, you didn't disrespect anybody. You didn't call anybody out there.
I was just wrong. You
rushed to judgment.
I just think a lot of people in this platform or specific platforms, they have a podcast or they have a show or they have anything like that.
Hey, fellas.
They're wrong. Hey, fellas.
That's what it was. That's exactly what That's exactly what
I got to my hey fellas bag a little too deep.
I'm so glad you brought. That's exactly what that moment was last week.
I was like, I don't want this show to be that.
And it was, and that was the first thing we talked. That was the first thing we talked about.
I leave you guys alone for one day.
I tried, Rosy, I tried.
Y'all were the three dudes on the mic that you was talking about.
You gotta understand.
At first it was just me and him. Yeah, first it was just me and him. And then Swerve came in. Yeah, first it was just me and him.
But I gotta keep it a buck, man. Like, I'm not passing the buck on nobody. But, I mean, just the way it was covered initially, with the Woj bomb, it's a Woj bomb. When a Woj bomb drops, and Woj is the king of info, he knows what your mama ate for dinners, all that shit.
Yo, and
when he said, yo, this coach who took this team to the Eastern Conference Finals, probably not going to coach this year for an undisclosed reason, and he didn't do nothing illegal or, like, hurt nobody physically, you're just like, all right, well, what the hell's going on? That's all the info I had. That's all the info I went with.
Yeah, you were off the marker with that one.
Oh, you didn't even know he had cheated.
I mean, I knew he had cheated, but I didn't think it was. I thought it was
as
blown
the
up
story was
bit.
coming out, that's when we started recording. So we had like maybe 1/4 of the full pie, and this nigga thought it was cool to be like, "Hey, fellas," I'm like, "Nigga, shut up, please."
Why would you cheat on Nina Long?
Bro, I'm like.
Yeah,
nigga was like, "No, we gotta think about the other side." I'm like, "Oh God, I'm like, Kaz, you gotta hear that." I'm like, "Kaz, please."
I beg of thee.
Rosy, he just went, and I'm like, I'm just sitting here like,
what did you have to say?
Nothing.
What did Swerve have to say?
Nigga, we just sat there and listened to him.
That's when you know it's bad. When no one
I started off, I said,
no one has an opinion.
Bro, I started off when he was going. I'm like, Kaz, don't do it. He was like, nah, but I'm saying, I'm like, all right, go ahead, bro.
Lo was like, don't do it, please don't.
And you know what Kaz won't go? You know what Kaz won't go? Kaz gonna go. And I said, yo, for the first time, I'm gonna back out and just let him go.
Lo didn't want to say it, but Kaz did.
I threw that gasoline on that fire. I'm like, go ahead.
Kaz did.
Nigga burned himself to the fucking ground.
Like I said, I don't take back anything
so fast forward. I don't know what you guys had to say about that, right? But fast forward, now we have more information.
Now we have the info.
Yeah.
Well, we think we do, allegedly.
Okay.
Right? Now, how do we feel about it? Not that it's any of our business.
From what? Well, that's good to lead off with that.
Not that it's any of our business.
That's great to lead off with that because I think that's what it should be. I think all this should not be. I mean, we get information about like scandals and we get information about everything. And I do understand that he violated a team policy, which is why.
Which was what? It's the staff member?
Yeah, like they're not supposed to, whatever.
Because I was going to say, I'm not a genius here, but like when he got suspended for that long, I was like, oh, he was fucking with somebody somebody's wife.
What I initially thought was
Because there's no way you're gonna get that much.
if you
of a
haven't,
It's a
suspension.
policy also
don't-
within their organization.
But I
it's
feel
their
like
policy.
if it wasn't a wife, it could have been waived.
I
They
honestly
could have
thought
worked around it.
when he was having sex on the job, I really thought he was having sex on the job. I'm like, he must have been getting it in
In the
practice
back-
court,
Yeah.
freaking locker room, like really like on camera, like.
Right.
Like
Did
they
he get
caught
caught
him.
in
Yeah,
the act?
yeah.
Like that's
they
what I
had
thought.
evidence.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
apparently it was like a ring camera, like a random ring camera conversation that picked up where somebody, and this is, I don't know if it's been officially reported,
Yeah,
but
I
this is
don't
like
know. What
There's a lot of moving pieces.
the
What do we know now?
consensus story is like the VP's caught his wife having a conversation on a ring camera
About-
with him.
That was like, that was odd. And then, one thing led to another. And then
really?
just, like the ring camera might bring down the Boston Celtics.
How is that on?
Damn, the ring camera's stopping them from getting a ring. Damn ring.
That was for free.
There you go.
That was
Damn
for
right.
free.
That was a free one. That was a freebie out there. Double entendre. Don't ask me how.
Lil,
Talk to
listen,
the
I will,
camera,
I
the
will
Golden
say
State
this,
Warriors.
as you know, the new camera.
Yo, y'all look
Listen,
stupid.
no, I will say that is a good-looking man.
Hey, man.
He
listen.
is a fine,
Very handsome. Very handsome.
You know he's fine when men can admit that he's handsome.
Very handsome.
He's a good-looking man.
I'm handsome, right?
And even if you can't admit he's handsome.
Wait. I'm handsome, right?
Wait.
Why is this
Even
about
if
you?
Yes,
it's
Lo.
not about you, Lo.
Thank you, Jay.
Even if you can't say, even if a man can't bring himself to say he's handsome, what
Yeah.
they can do is say, "You bagged me along, though." You know,
So
what
he
I mean?
got it.
So he got it.
He gotta have something.
Gotta have something. I ain't gonna be like Jay-Z handsome, but by Beyonce though. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah, I don't get that.
you
I don't
know?
understand.
Okay, all right. Okay.
No.
It's
No,
not- it's
but
not-
no,
hey,
but I get what you're saying. I get what
ain't
you're
my
saying.
place to judge
I
another man's looks.
I definitely get what you're saying.
But you can judge the kind of fish he catches.
No,
And he caught some-
Yo, I
caught some
hate
big
that.
mouth
No,
bass.
Remember when I told you that?
What?
Did I say that?
Yes, you did say
Here?
this on this.
Wait,
When I was
wait.
like, I think I said it on the pod before, where I was like, it's funny because I used to love like uglier men, and I'm like, but then they see that man with a pretty woman, and now pretty women are attracted to him because they got you. So they're like,
Nah, it's big
he
dick
gotta
energy.
have something.
So do you think
He says
Ime
big dick
Udoka
energy.
is? Do you think Ime
Presumed
Udoka
big dick
is
energy.
good looking, or is just because he bagged me along?
No, he's
people are like,
fine.
So he was fine before.
He's
you knew he was
fine.
with-
That's why he bagged me along. But then he bagged me along, and I'm like, and kept her.
right.
So now I'm like, oh, so he's just a whole. He's probably like a little package.
that remains to be seen.
They have a 10-year-old kid.
No, I'm saying
That
like
remains to
they've
be
been
seen.
together for a while. So to me, it's like, all right, you're fine. So you back. That's how you bagged her.
And you
But you
maintain.
kept her. So there's something.
Well,
like,
I
you,
don't say kept because I'm like
You know what I
kidnapping.
mean?
I'm joking.
Damn it.
That's not what I thought at all.
It's
Lo,
like
what's your favorite cookie?
We're not doing that.
We're not doing
We're
that.
not doing
We're
that.
not
Every
doing
time Lo pisses me off, I'm gonna ask him what his favorite
God.
cookie.
Okay, that was
That's
good.
funny.
That was good.
But no, I mean, it is interesting though because it just opened up like this like waterfall of like commentary from other people, and now like the blowback with like the Stephen A's of the world and the Malika Andrews of the world and Kendrick. Like it's always been like,
Well, all right. So what's the blowback?
all right, so
Just like I'm just hearing from your perspective. That's
So I think Steven. So here's the thing. And again, this was a point that I made on the episode where I was like, all right, like we all know about Ime Udoka's feet being held to the fire and kind of being like publicly sort of like embarrassed and all this type of shit. But like if they both work together and it was both consensual, why are we only hear about one person's side and not the other? Which
Have
is the
they
point.
disclosed who it is yet?
We not publicly, not they didn't have a press conference for that person. It
So
was only about
so that's what bothers you. It's like he's getting all the heat and not the other
it
person.
seemed like a hit job. Like when I first saw it, and this is before the press conference, for all that, and I still thought that up until the press conference, it wasn't until we started hearing the details of other stuff that I was like, okay, maybe I should. But I thought it was a hit job. I was just like, it's a consensual relationship, and granted, what he did is messed up, and shouldn't be. He should definitely, if it's a team rule, deal with it the way teams want to
Oh
do
yeah.
it.
It's an organization
No, by the way-
policy.
Right.
I
What
didn't
he-
want. I didn't say that when I said he was fine and all that. It didn't mean like I get it. I get why he's doing what he's
Or
doing.
you excuse his actions.
It wasn't excusing
No, no,
anything,
no,
but I
no.
could understand why women around him, especially if it was somebody
No, yeah, I mean that's
around
yeah.
the team that's always around him, could be tempted.
Like I get the power dynamics, being the head coach, like you are in a powerful
Yeah.
position, especially in a powerful organization and all that type of stuff. It's the Boston Celtics. It is the original franchise of this league. You cannot bring any sort of this nonsense BS to it. It's like, this ain't the Lakers. We don't do that here. But
it was okay, never mind.
that's a joke.
No, yeah, I get
Genie
it.
Buzz, Phil Jackson.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So when I heard that, I was just like, all right, well, that was a point that Stephen A. brought up, and then Malika Andrews, had a rebuttal, and people just like went crazy on her, like, yo, like, you don't support black men, you don't let black men talk.
Why? What did she say?
All right, so for the people that are lost, explain what she said in rebuttal.
Tell
to
me like
Stephen
I'm
A.
3.
I'm gonna I'll
Paraphrase
summarize
it.
it. I'll
Paraphrase
a
it the
little
best way you can.
But Stephen A. Smith basically said, like, all right, like, apparently this is consensual. How come only one person seems like they're getting most of the embarrassment and punishment? And
Well,
not the
maybe
other
nobody
person?
cares about the other person.
And Malika, to kind of summarize, pretty much put it under the guise of like, we still have to protect women in this point because we don't know all the details, and like maybe there's a reason
Which is
why
a
we
fair,
don't know.
which is a fair assessment.
Which is fair, but
Wait.
No, that's
What
a
do you-
very
no,
fair
no,
assessment.
No,
That's a
hold
very
on,
fair
time out. Bring it
assessment.
back. We still have to protect women because we don't know the details and why.
see, that's where I get that's where the
That's the
disconnect doesn't
conflict?
happen for me
Because why?
because later on I'm hearing rumors that maybe everything wasn't consensual, maybe things were a little bit more not on the straight and not as straight and narrow as it possibly could be, but like if it turned out it was. There was rumors of like
It was
some
consensual,
people becoming
bro.
pregnant. There was
It was
all this
consensual.
other stuff.
That man has no, like, he's not in a position where he would have to do anything that's not consensual.
I don't know, but I don't want to assume that about anybody. But what I do want to say is that it does raise the question, like, all right, like, basically, Malika said, hey, we're not going to assume that. We don't know all the details, and you're right about that. We don't know all the details. But,
We never will.
some people felt that, like, the coverage was a little bit unfair, even when it came to
lopsided.
even when it came to talking about his replacement, Joe Mazzulla, I want to say, for the Boston Celtics. As it was announced, he said, Malika said it would be remiss if we don't, remind people that when he was a player at West Virginia, he was arrested for domestic battery.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He grabbed the girl by the neck
Wait.
in the bar.
Who brought this up?
Malika.
Andrews.
It was about
Udoka.
Yeah, in 2009. No, it wasn't about Udoka. It was about the guy who's coaching the Celtics.
the guy.
now.
Okay.
So like on top of that, then more people were like, "Yo, like this person just keeps piling on black men. Like what's going on?" And then like it turns into this whole
Wait, the new coach is black as well?
yes,
Okay,
and-
good.
which is crazy because I hear the
Good.
name Joe Mazzulla and I'm like,
Yeah, for
Shut up.
Italian white guy from
I saw
Staten
that I'm like,
Island.
hey, yo,
Yeah, that's what I
Celtics.
thought. I pictured like fucking
It's like Devin's father. Okay.
Devin's father. That's what I thought.
It's not gonna make sense. But
Okay.
you'll get it.
You'll catch it later.
No, like I saw, but another black dude. So people really got on Malika.
What did she say about him?
He got arrested for.
She
not
basically
arrested.
said.
But why? Okay, I have questions because I didn't
People were
watch
basically
this.
like, why bring that up now?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why? What was her reasoning for bringing up his past?
I mean, I guess she's doing her job as a journalist. I guess, like she's basically saying, like, hey, like,
I think from what I got from it is
I want to
she's
see
trying
this
to
episode.
she's trying to expose maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong. She's trying to expose the organization of what the Boston Celtics are.
I don't know if it's that.
It could be a part of it.
I just want to. I gotta watch it because I want to know how she even went from like, oh, okay, so
But-
he's getting suspended, and the new guy. Let me tell you about him. Like,
That's a good
It
journalist.
was kind of like that a little bit. It wasn't like in that exact
I
tone,
know.
but it was basically like as he was talking about the replacement. Like they bring up like all these. I think he paid like $100 fine for the domestic battery charge, and I think that he stole something. I don't know, something else that happened
she just
to him.
hates
But in
everything
2009,
going on.
but then Twitter gets a hold of it, and they start putting like these thread of videos of like what can be assumed as these things that would have her being against black men, and it's just like
Clips of her.
yeah,
Oh, okay,
like,
okay.
and I ain't gonna hold you, man. Like, I saw that, and that was kind of fucked up because it's like
What part?
seeing them all back to back kind of thing.
Nah, not even. You can take any sort of clips and make anybody seem like anything, right?
Yeah,
but
true.
like, I just feel like, you know, a person like that in that position is really hard. Like, I've seen it with so many like women in sports. Like, nobody gets it harder than them, especially black women in sports. Like, I've seen it happen with Carrie Champion.
Taylor.
I've seen it happen with Taylor. I'm seeing it happen now.
Jamel.
And Jamel, obviously.
Lord,
like,
God, yeah.
I mean, it's just something about like, it's a show about debate. It's a show about having a back and forth discourse.
So you're supposed to
right?
have information. You're supposed to have resources. You're supposed to have firing points because a debate can go on for 10 minutes or 3 hours.
It's
And
like
you have to have shit laid out for any
but
point
debates are
that comes and goes.
But all right, so debates are factual, right? And you have to have facts.
Well, no,
statistics.
debates are opinions based on the facts that
No,
you
that's an
understand.
argument.
that's an argument.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
my
yeah,
fault.
yeah.
A debate is all facts, right? When it becomes an argument, it's all opinion based, and it sounds to me like she's stating facts, but she's pushing her opinion in there as well.
I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't watch.
It's possible.
I didn't watch that.
But that's the thing, though.
that
Like, I
episode.
don't think any of us are wrong. Like, there's a
Yeah.
section of people that believe, like,
This
yo,
and- yeah.
you're kind of bugging. This might have been a little bit like, you know, this happened in 2009. Like, you have to bring it up now when this person's getting this opportunity to coach this team because
you should be
somebody
happy
else
for
wrote
them.
it down. Not even be happy, but like, now's not the time to bring that
But
up.
that's
to
what
some people.
But that's what happens with Twitter when anybody or anyone or any group gets notoriety or success, right? We always, if like a new artist or a politician, entertainer, whatever, someone's gonna go back and find your tweets from 2007 and like, yo, look what this person said. That's pretty much the equivalent of what happened with the new coach. Like, yo, look what he did.
I
and
mean-
she's not wrong for bringing that up.
She's not. It's her job to. I don't think she probably didn't have to bring it up.
No,
Really?
as a journalist, you are supposed to bring things to the forefront.
You can, but there's some
I'm not
things
mad at
that
her
if,
for doing
if they're
it.
negative that you could choose to be like, you know what?
I just think
mad
It's
at her.
irrelevant.
I'm not mad at her for doing it. It's
Because
not irrelevant.
if it's
It's not irrelevant. It's
2009
not irrelevant in the story of what's going on in that organization. In the context, yeah, it makes sense.
But we can always get deeper. We can always get deeper and get to the whole devil's advocate, like 2009. We don't know what he was going through. We don't know the situation that happened then that he got charged for.
All
Like,
right,
we can always do that.
I get that, but based on what happened with the prior head coach, what he was doing, which was known back in July and June, and now you're putting someone else in that position that's kind of similar in that reign of bullshit that your other person just did. So it's like, what does that say about your organization? And as a journalist, she's like, hey, this ain't the only one.
Yeah, I think what I mean, she's a trained journalist. So, like,
That's
her
what she's
job is to
supposed
be
to.
like, I'm going to present the facts and you
Make your way with
make
it.
your own assumptions about it. She never really threw in her opinion in
Right.
from what I saw.
Right.
She never said this person's bad, but, you know, she's doing her job.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've seen it happen one too many times. This ain't me putting on the cape for nobody, obviously. But, like, I've seen it so many times with women. And now that, like, a lot of them I know personally, I call them friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a crazy world to live in the world of, like, sports journalism where
Coupled with being a black woman.
coupled being a black woman where, like, a lot of times they just kind of want you, it's effed up, but they just kind of want you to stand there while, like, the two guys argue. Like, that's your position. You got to be Molly. You got to sit there and, like, God forbid you have an opinion or God forbid you talk back to the host or say something like that. And it's like,
Did you
bro,
see it?
what are
Did
we
you see
doing?
that clip with
Damn,
Skip?
guys, this is
and-
what y'all do to me.
Whoa!
Oh, hold on.
I'm joking.
Oh,
Hold
no,
up.
we ain't about to do that.
Rosie,
Oh.
everybody stop.
Yeah.
Everybody stop.
Everybody stop.
Everybody
Okay,
stop.
okay.
Oh,
We
my
not about to do that.
God.
Go ahead,
Rosie?
Cass.
It's cool. We're
Go ahead,
editing that out.
yeah.
Rosie?
No.
No, do not edit this out.
I was
Yeah, don't edit this out.
I
Keep
was-
keep this in.
Rosie,
No,
Go ahead,
I am
Cass, go.
joking.
Guys, I was joking too.
do you feel
Go ahead.
Like-
Rosie? Do you feel heard and supported by myself, Lo, and Jake?
No. Is this what HR told you to do?
Rosie,
Rosie.
Mind you, Say Less does not have an HR department yet.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
It's
It's the white Jewish man.
exactly. Rosie, do you ever feel like you can't get a point across? Do you feel like
Jake.
an equal on our side?
But I mean, the whole thing with Ime Udoka is like the Robert Sarver thing.
I'm
You know?
joking, but the way you described it, I'm like, damn, that's what y'all do.
This is true.
There
Y'all
is
just
a
be
lot
sitting
of
here arguing. I'll be in the middle like,
there is a lot of
"Hey,
back and
kids."
forth. But there's more authentic opinions with them, and it's not like disagreeing for the sake of
no.
disagreeing.
I was just saying, while Kaz made a point, I wanted him to see another point where it's like, it's not that deep, like at all. But imagine,
Sit up straight when I'm talking.
like, sit up straight when I'm talking.
I'm showing you body language that you're being heard and supported.
Yo, give me that. You know what? Your therapist is doing wonders.
This shit, yo,
I love your therapist.
Thank you.
This shit
She's
OD.
great.
She's doing great.
Shout out Crystal. You
Another
are
woman. See,
fantastic.
look, surrounded by women.
This shit OD.
Look at y'all.
Yo, this shit
No,
OD.
I was saying that in the sense of like, I know we're not like, but imagine if we were, right?
Yeah.
And imagine it if we weren't friends and they just threw me in here and we were
Yeah.
on a show and they threw me in here.
No,
That's
I don't. But I
essentially what it
don't. I
would
know. I don't
become.
think. To that point, I don't think the discourse between us three would be that. I think it was.
I said, imagine if we
No.
weren't friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
what I'm
already
saying.
a show.
The
Somebody
dynamic
brought
is
me in.
different.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I've been
That
on
with
sets.
them is probably like they're hiring people.
I've been on sets. I've been on shows. I've been on chemistry reads with like a bunch of other people.
Which
where
they
it's
do.
like-
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and honestly, to be honest, like on a lot of shows I've either written for or wrote for, not to pass the buck, but like producers and directors at a time would be like, hey, we need a woman in there to like kind of like wrangle these two guys. Like that's like, oh,
But
here
guess
come these
what?
two
Oftentimes,
crazy
and correct me if
debaters.
I'm wrong, oftentimes it's not a woman that they know.
Right.
And so that's a clash right there because personalities everything can be different, right? So it's like,
But I mean, like
that's how women end up being in positions where
But
they're
in
not.
in those
heard or
situations,
seen.
it's not a friendship. Like this is a business. Can you hold your own? That's literally all.
Well,
it
here's the
is.
thing. I don't think ESPN or any of her employers are mad at her. This is just
No, they
like
shouldn't be.
This is just
That's why we hired you.
the shitty world of social media that has become so toxic and negative. Of like literally a year ago, Malika Andrews is like the golden child, like cannot be like she's
Now people want Rachel Nichols
now
back.
people want Rachel Nichols back, and I'm just like, yo, look
Rachel
at y'all,
Nichols white?
yo. Yes, and
Yeah, I don't want her.
there was a whole thing with her before she got let go, and I was like, oh, see, you want the black woman, and you want it, which I was like, wow.
mean, to
now
be
that it
honest-
happened, people are like, well, now that I actually listened to this Rachel Nichols illegally recorded conversation that she got fired for, she didn't really say anything too bad, which, believe what you want to believe. It just shows that like how many people are so fickle on social media that like they're
Yeah,
just
but
waiting
we
for the moment to bring your black ass down. And we do it better than anybody on the planet.
Who's we?
Especially black folks. I've said it. Nobody brings down black folks bigger or better.
I think the white folks have an argument.
I mean, white folks obviously do the heavy lifting behind the scenes. But when they really want to do damage, they slap you in front of a camera. They get you on social media to do other shit. And they're like, yo, look what all your people are saying about you. Well, look what Black Twitter is saying about you. Look at all this stuff. It's like, this is what happens, bro. And we do it all the time, especially when people are starting to rise up. It's like, we want you to get important, we want you to get popping, but not too popping.
Yeah,
Because we
you
want to
can't-
show.
No, what
You
I
can't be
think,
bigger
I
than a
think, I
brand.
think what happens is, I think Black Twitter has so many different sectors of communities where there are certain people that believe one thing.
Mhm.
There's another portion of people that believe that thing. There's another people that are just caught in the middle, right? So it's hard to grasp when Black Twitter gets a hold of something and you don't know what direction to go in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what Black Twitter has been because it's so massive.
I've been starting to like slowly sort of like still love Twitter.
Yeah, of course.
But like
Every day.
I still start to like change the way I absorb it, the way I use it, the way I talk to people on it,
The people you follow,
the people I follow.
the conversations you're curious about.
Yeah, like I've had to like re-curate my experience because it's become so negative. You know what I mean? Like just draining on somebody's psyche, and I couldn't imagine what it would be like for all that energy to be pointed at a particular
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
We've all been there. You know the number one rule of Twitter: never be the star of the show. Never be the main character on Twitter. That is the number one rule
I mean,
of Twitter. But it's just, again,
Well,
Do
you got
people?
Yeah.
My
What?
fault. Oh,
No.
Rosie, do you? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
Kidding,
What?
This
guys,
is so. I'm so glad I'm not white because this would look so bad. This would look
Wait,
so
Yeah,
bad.
no.
You're pale.
To the
No,
naked
shut
eye.
the fuck up.
You know.
There's nothing about me that looks white except my.
you're pale.
I'm pale.
Yeah, you're
pale.
But it's still not white. Look at Jake. Look at me.
You're pale.
I'm pale.
Yeah,
But
you're
look at Jake. Look at me. Not white.
Cousins.
Not white. No. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. No, I was trying to reel it back in.
Rosie, we like 2.5 shades apart.
She got her Dahmer shades on, bro. Don't fuck. I was about to say, like, you and Jake ain't that far apart. Like, I was trying to pass by it, but I just.
No, I'm not saying
Y'all
like.
niggas are not that far apart.
I'm not saying like even just skin color. I'm saying look at us.
Yeah, even Latino.
okay.
Like
Features.
look at
Yeah,
us. Look
yeah,
at features and shit. Like
No, I
I'm-
got you.
She's talking about the nose.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
nose.
All
I mean, my nose too.
All right,
I don't
Adam.
know.
All right, Adam Sandler.
Once you talk, it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah. They're not related.
You're not from the Caucasus Mountains.
No.
All right, shut the
Look at
fuck
Shady
up.
Kiss over here.
I was trying to bring it back to her actually, and figure out what you were saying when you originally made the point of like how what you were saying something about how a woman is slapped in sports and they got to listen to the men argue.
Yeah, I think there's just the formula of like debate shows and like how talk shows have worked for so long. It's been like guy, girl in the middle. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And your job is just like to round them up or whatever. God forbid you have an opinion. God forbid that you talk back to somebody or debate the
Yeah,
host.
that's what you were
know
saying.
your place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is what happened with Skip.
Mm.
Did you see that clip?
Skip.
That's what y'all
Bayless.
were talking about
What
before we.
Skip Bayless.
Okay.
What happened?
On Undisputed, I forgot what they were talking about. The host was making a point,
Mm-hmm.
and she disagreed with Skip.
Okay.
I really, really wish I had the actual points of like what they were talking about.
Okay.
But it goes to her point. Like Skip was like, "Well, no, this is not. It wasn't a fair shot. Whatever they were talking about, like he used the term like this is not a fair shot, and no, that doesn't make sense. I don't agree with you." Being dismissive to the host.
Okay.
So I forgot what the name of the host is for Undisputed right now. As she was closing out the segment and going to commercial break, she looked really, really upset and felt really disturbed that Skip.
Sure, she was upset.
Right, but she made it known.
She's not in a position. Like it's hard to be in a position.
Is
to,
there
like,
is there two hosts on Undisputed?
It's Shannon Sharp, and Skip Bayless, Undisputed host.
and
And then they have a woman
they
who's
have a
like
mediator,
on.
a moderator. They have a moderator.
Jen Hale?
It might be her, yeah.
That's what Wikipedia says.
And she was making a point against what Skip thought. And
Yeah.
Skip kind of just dismissed her and placed her to the side. And she said, as they're closing out the commercial break, she's like, "Oh yeah, we'll be back if Skip lets me have an opinion." So that goes to KAZ's point
It's either
about
Jenny Taft, Joy Taylor,
Let me see.
or Jen Hale.
Well, it's not Joy Taylor.
not Joy Taylor.
Yeah.
Jen.
Joy Taylor,
it's-
tell me
it's-
about
it's-
yourself though.
it's,
She'll clap back at your ass quick. I fuck with Joy Taylor.
I think it's
man.
Jenny.
Yeah,
I think it's Jenny Taft.
Yeah, probably.
But see, like, why would he do? See,
But that goes to his point.
But
yeah, that's
That
what you
goes,
were
that,
saying.
that's why that's why I brought it up.
I think part of it falls on the organization to put them in the position that's not the host, though. Because from the role of the debaters, there might be the part of it where it's like, you're just trying, like, there's pre-production,
host-
whatever.
there is a
like,
part of knowing your role though.
like, you know what I mean?
No. Hold
No,
on.
I mean because
Hold
from
on.
my experience, I do a show with Monica, and Monica's the star. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I know my place.
Right.
Like we'll talk, but Monica got some shit to say. I'll shut the fuck up and let Monica go.
when is she coming? By
You
the way?
know, we'll have her soon. She's busy.
She's big time on
She's
us.
not- now they're going back. It's NFL, it's NBA, NHL's about
All
to come
right, so
back.
she's
in.
not coming. Got it.
MLB's like, yeah, she's not coming. we barely can get this nigga here.
Actually, no. I'm supposed to be going
I'm about to
to
say
a
you're supposed
workout
to do
class
cycle
with her.
class with her, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I told you.
I'm like, exactly. I'm like,
I'm
yo,
gonna
come on,
cover her. I'll
son.
figure it out.
No, so
Shout out Monica McNutt. She's the good one.
but what I'm saying is, as a host, you're supposed to direct, guide, maneuver the show,
Yeah.
make it clean, make it pure, make it good. But you're also allowed, man or woman, to have an opinion, to throw little darts in there, not to debate with both of you, but to say, okay, yeah, but I feel like this too, and I agree with you. I don't disagree with you, but like I'm not here to argue with you.
Right.
I'm here to guide you, and I'm here to like, cool, let's go to this next segment. That's you got to find a fine line, like you
Right,
said.
but that wasn't what they brought Malika in for at that time. Malika was brought in as like, yo, this Udoka shit is coming. We have her on the phone.
Oh yeah, no,
It
yeah, that's
wasn't
different.
like-
No, that's
I'm
different.
talking
Yeah,
about-
that's,
Yeah, it wasn't
I'm
like
not talking.
Molly.
Yeah,
I'm
talking about Skip.
I'm talking about Skip and
Okay,
and
Yeah, but
So that's what I'm saying. As the host, you do have a right for an opinion. you do have a right to say, oh, yeah, well, I agree with you. Yeah, and here's why. Right.
Okay.
The show is based on, Shannon and Skip, right? Those segments are for them. That show is for them. But to completely dismiss, explicitly say, well, no, I don't, what you're saying is stupid.
Well, Skip is
that what he said?
No. That's what he
that's
gave
talks
off.
Too, right?
That's what he gave
Yeah,
off.
Skip Bayless is trash.
And
Like,
she was like, no, my nigga, like, not. Well, she didn't say my nigga. She didn't say my nigga, but she was like, no,
I miss Stephen A. and Skip together. I miss First Take because I miss Stephen A. checking him.
Let me tell you something.
She was like, we'll be back.
Did you see that?
She was like, yo, we'll be back.
I miss Stephen A. just checking him.
She was like, we'll be back if Skip lets me have an opinion. I'm like, yo, she was fed the fuck up.
Well, you know what it is too. I feel like in that kind of space, I ain't gonna name no names, but in that kind of space, there's a ego thing, and there's like a like people just sometimes also look at you like you ain't been doing. Even you, like if they brought a new host to your show on Apple Music, somebody up and coming, and they did some fuck shit in the back of your head. Sometimes I'm not saying you personally, but someone like you could be like, bro, you don't even know what you're doing. Like, just let me do this. Learn from what I'm like learn from me. Don't jump the rope.
I'm the type of person that.
I'm not saying you personally,
no.
but someone
Right,
in your
but
position.
I'm just saying, no.
So I'm thinking Skip in that position was like,
that. No, that's
bitch,
different.
you don't even know
that was
what
different.
you're talking about. You're new to, you're not.
You're describing two different scenarios. So the first scenario you just gave me, a new guy coming to my show, or a new person coming to my show, and tried to like spin their wheels ahead of their experience, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm the type of person to let you fall flat on your face in front of the world because you thought you knew or you thought you had better expertise than I did. And then I'll bring you to the side and be like, see, this is where you went wrong.
Oh.
This is what happens when you do that shit.
I don't think Skip is like that.
Right. But he was disrespectful. I'm not going to be disrespectful in front of people, and we're trying to accommodate.
So here's
a common goal.
Here's where that gets tricky, right?
And I'm just speaking for me.
Understood. Skip does that to everybody.
And she stood up for
everybody
herself on live television.
And people stand up to Skip all the time. Jalen Rose called the man Water Pistol Pete. Has been on a Skip Bayless show since. You know what I'm saying? Like
he called him what?
He called him Water because he was talking.
He's like, how many points did you average?
Oh man, I'll never forget that. Somebody, oh yeah,
Water Pistol Pete is hilarious.
Bro. Classic television moment, yo.
Water gun ass.
You gotta understand. If you wasn't around for the Water Pistol Pete moment, yo, wow. Because weeks leading into it, Skip was weaving up this story about how he was this like almost could have made it point guard.
How many points did you average?
His game was more like Pistol Pete Maravich or whatever.
We averaged like 4.5 points per game.
No.
Mind you, this
like
is
one.
This is like the primordial ooze of what would become First Take. This is like the cold pizza era, I want to say, right? And you know, Skip is talking this shit back in the day when it was still kind of wild, wild west. He's talking this to Jalen Rose. And Jalen Rose, clearly, I mean, just
with the shits.
One of the most accomplished basketball players to ever live. It's like, yo, you always bringing up your past, talk about you Pistol Pete. I looked up, you averaged 1.4 points of varsity. You're more like Water Pistol Pete. And then you can't even find that clip on Disney, ESPN, nowhere. You got to find that joint like in the Twitter vaults. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm sure Jalen probably like, you know, whatever. It feels away.
I don't think he regrets it.
But boy,
shit, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
That's hilarious.
This is a debate. This is a fact.
Play your position, man. That's my in the debate show,
play your
bro.
Position, not yourself.
In the debate show, man, play your position. If they bringing you in to have some opinions, some ideas, like I didn't mind the Stephen A. Malika back and forth. I thought Stephen A. made some good points.
Malika made great points.
And I thought Malika made some good points.
But the thing is,
I thought Malika made some terrible points. But see, I thought Stephen A. made some terrible points.
I was gonna say, but
like
Stephen,
they do every day.
I don't feel like Stephen A. is like he's who he is, and you gotta watch him to understand that. But I don't think he's disrespectful.
No, he's not, and I didn't think he was disrespectful either. I don't even think Stephen A. caught any brunt of it. People were just going at Malika. And that's the thing that got me was like, yo, like this is the show. Yeah. The show is.
I honestly
back and
wouldn't be
forth.
surprised if is Mandy here or some shit.
Yeah,
somebody
Bluetooth.
Mandy
must be.
Mandy must be.
No, the thing is I'd be surprised if Stephen A. didn't come back and say something in her defense type shit because
Is it his job?
I don't
It's
think
not
Stephen
his
A. said
job.
something wrong, man.
It's not his job, but I feel like he's that type of person.
Yeah.
Like he'll
That-
come out and
like-
be like, "Yo,
Like he's the
like,
type
y'all
of
are
person to
wrong
be
for
like,
having-
bro, like she had a point. Like leave her. Like,
But this is
and-
not.
it's
This
the
is,
show."
like if she keeps,
this
if
is
people
not-
keep
but
coming
it's
at her
nothing-
like
but
that.
it's nothing new when a black woman exercises her point with facts
Right.
and stands on it.
Mm.
This is nothing new. Like we see it with everything. We see it with politics. We see it with entertainment. We see it with sports. We see it with music. We see it any space that has
It's just
access
it's
to the
rough-
world, and we have a black woman giving their fact or opinion. There's always ramifications for that black woman using her voice.
It's just a rough. It's
And
a
it
rough place to
sucks.
be in, man. Like I know a good amount of women in the sports space that do incredible work.
Mhm.
I mean, Taylor Rooks, wonderful. Monica
out
McNutt,
Taylor.
wonderful.
Taylor, shout
I
out.
love Monica.
Ashley Moss, wonderful.
her.
George
Ashley,
Taylor.
from Miami. Ashley
Uh,
Nicole, like yo, bro, works for Sports Illustrated. Has done so much great work, and
These-
she gets kicked back all the
Madeline
time.
Burke, all these incredible women in sports, all on top of like, okay, like you got to deal with literal cavemen, like just ogling, like that type of shit, like,
Yeah.
and on top of like having to be on top of
Everything
and it's a male dominated
industry.
industry as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Maria Taylor, another one, incredible. And it's just like, man, like I feel for him because it feels like every year,
Every
it's like-
day.
every day, obviously, but every year there's like one like moment with like a sports journalist,
It all comes crashing down.
and
on
it's
her head.
just like, all right, I guess
Yeah.
this is her turn. This is her turn in the spin cycle. But I mean, she ain't doing nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Like we'll see. I'm sure.
she ain't
I'm
doing
sure
nothing
the
wrong.
past-
Fuck crazy. She ain't doing nothing wrong. She was doing her job, and that's that.
Opinions is opinions, man. I thought that's what the show was about.
Yeah.
So, but whatever, we'll be all right. Let's. Oh yeah. Let's.
How many? Yeah, we had 30 minutes.
No,
45.
No, back.
Oh,
back
my fault.
no, I was gonna say back to the shits.
Yeah, let's get
Because-
to the shits, Rosie. Come
No,
on, what
we were
shits?
talking about y'all last episode that I wasn't here for.
Okay.
Oh no, we done with that.
Yep.
Yeah, we moved
Well,
on. Got that
finish.
nigga.
Well, no, because
Okay.
I
Well,
didn't
let
know.
her finish.
I didn't know the details. Y'all told me there
No,
was
we
more
know.
details.
I think we
I
pretty
didn't know.
much we broke down everything.
No, we broke down what people thought.
But we
about
don't
it.
we don't want to give away the episode. We want to put that on.
Yeah,
Patreon.
we'll give it away one
we
day,
want to
but-
make motherfuckers pay for that.
If you want to hear me just be loud and wrong,
pay for that first episode on Patreon.
But Kaz,
That
why
nigga
was
was
you
so
loud and
wrong.
You
And
know
I'm
what's
just like,
crazy?
shut up.
No. You know what's crazy?
First off,
Hold on,
you
hold
didn't
on.
know
What-
anything either.
Guys, there's footage of
But
this.
what-
There's footage. We
Thank
need
you.
to- we
But
need to
Jake,
watch
but
back.
Jake, what did I say?
But if
You
you
said-
sit
Jake, what did I
here-
say? Hold on, Jake, what did I say?
Tread carefully.
That's all I said.
But
I was
also,
like,
I have a
said, no,
question
wait,
for
wait.
Kaz.
I said, I'm like, I know where you're going. I said, don't do it. I said, Kaz, don't
It
do it.
wasn't even that bad, bro.
I'm not.
But
I'm
I have
not
a
saying
question
it was
for Kaz,
bad.
right?
What?
Because Kaz is so big on like people jumping the gun
Yes.
to like report shit before.
I ain't even
before-
jumped the gun that much. I still stand
that
by a lot
much?
of what I said.
You was
Alright,
30 minutes into the news.
We just did like a 30-minute apology at the beginning. Now you're gonna
Yeah,
say.
yeah, we don't-
now you're
we
gonna
don't-
walk
we
it
don't-
back.
We don't gotta go back.
No, but
I
Kaz.
mean, now that I'm getting pushback, it's like, you know what?
No, fuck that. No, fuck that. Hey, fellas. No, because Kaz is like, yo, sports people, they always want to report shit first. They don't even be knowing the facts.
Yo,
is that what
yo,
you did?
Kaz loves this.
Is that what you did,
Kaz, yo,
Kaz?
Kaz is back. He's against the wall right now, and I can see
And
the wheel.
then-
I can see the
and-
wheels
hold on, hold on,
turning in
hold
his
on,
head right
hold on.
now.
And then there was another point where Kaz was like, you ever see three guys with a microphone? Don't do it. That was last week.
I'm like, bro.
It was you,
I'm
Swerve and Low, talking about, hey, fellas,
all I said, I'm like,
fellas.
I'm like, brother.
y'all hear about this shit?
I was trying to defend this Nigerian man.
No, he would. No, he would. Yo, he meant everything in good
The
spirit.
light-skinned Nigerian
So,
man?
I was trying to defend this man. I thought he was being held up against the fire. Once he put out the apology and accepted all responsibility and said, I did
Oh.
all these wrong things and without any details.
I
and
didn't see that.
Yeah, he put out a personal statement, I think through Malika, actually, about, hey, man, I've let my family down. I love all this. Like, once he said all that, I'm like, hey, man, it ain't for me to,
Hey,
for me to
fellas.
defend you, bro. If this
But it never was.
unprecedented sort of suspension, or I guess
Like a 1-year suspension.
apparently, and they might
I
not
only
bring him back
defend people.
afterwards.
Let me tell you something. I only defend people I know personally.
Right.
And even then, I'm like, I don't know what you're into.
Nigga,
I don't know.
I know you that well.
I look at it
I
like,
thought
yo,
I knew you. I
look-
don't know.
I
Oh
look
my
at
God.
it. I look at it like this: not shit where you eat,
Mm.
and that is my stance on this entire situation.
I don't know, man. A lot of people like shit meals.
Yeah,
People
and,
shit.
a lot,
also
and, a lot,
that-
and a
but
lot of
not-
people are eating shit.
No, but not only that,
And
like
a lot
let's
of
think
people-
about.
but a lot of people build empires that
Let's
way.
think about-
They
let's think about shit
nobody's
we
getting
eat,
into a
right?
relationship thinking the absolute worst. They're
No,
thinking,
but let's think about that, right? Like, let's say you only had
No.
Apple Music, right? Let's say you were only MSG.
I'm not fucking anybody at Apple
let's
Music,
say you
bro.
was there for just
It don't matter.
ungodly hours of
It don't
the day.
matter, bro.
You
It
never
don't
know,
matter.
bro.
There's too many things outside of your
think
employment
that
that you can
now?
go. It's New York's, Boston, New York, LA, Detroit, Chicago, bro. Outside of your office,
You
there are
spend too much
options.
time there.
All right,
I completely
y'all
forgot
got
my
it.
point. I think what I was trying to say. What
No,
did
I
you
was talking
just
about shitting where you eat. And she was like, well, you know, if you're working for so many hours, like people
I
are in there.
understand why people do it.
And you
I do too.
I wouldn't do it.
I've done it.
I've done it.
I've
I wouldn't
done
do
it,
it
and it's
anymore.
Exactly. Hold on. So back
This
to
is
my
what?
point.
No.
No, you did it. That's
Listen,
it. You
all
can't
right.
say shit.
No, yes, the fuck I can.
You can't say shit else about it.
Yes,
You've
I
done it.
can.
Go ahead.
Because I can
Tell people why
I
they
can
shouldn't do
speak
what you did.
If I can tell you why you shouldn't do something, it's
because
because
you
I've
did it.
had experience
Okay.
doing it. So that's what I'm saying. You
But-
shouldn't. I'm not saying
but
I
you
did it.
can't
No, listen.
change
You're not
anybody's
listening.
mind.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying you shouldn't shit where you eat. I'm not saying I didn't shit where I eat. I'm saying this is why you shouldn't shit where you eat.
Yeah,
this
that's
is a direct result of why
That-
you shouldn't.
That is a known thing. But
right,
people
so that's all
still
I'm
do it.
All right, cool. But this
It's
is
still
what
gonna
happens.
happen.
All right,
Like,
so all right, cool.
If
never mind.
I'm on, let's say, I don't know, let's say I'm in production or some shit. I'm on set 16 hours a day. I'm gonna find somebody attractive.
And you're stupid for that. And you're stupid for that.
Nah.
After like the second week, I'm like, you're
You're
kind of
stupid.
funny.
And you're
That's not
stupid for
fair.
that.
You might be
no, and
cute.
you're stupid for that.
No,
So
you're
many
not.
people.
Mercy, I feel
so
you.
many
That's
people.
relatable.
You're
That's what I'm saying. So
not.
many people find relationships with people in the same field with them, same people as work that found work. Like it happens all the time. It's
Yeah.
such a it's just a touchy, very tread lightly sort of thing. It can go so wrong. It can go so right. Like all relationships. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what
Some
I think?
people have found
Some people have
wives and husbands
yes,
and marriage
all
out
the
of it.
fucking time. Bro.
But you
Yeah,
have
but they
to-
didn't. But
you
they
have
didn't
to go
find
that
that.
far.
But they didn't find that person while they were with somebody.
That's not the point. It's that.
Somehow.
Some people it happens, bro. Like,
All right, cool.
It's
Y'all got
about
it.
the-
Y'all got
I
it.
think
it's not even y'all got it. It's
No,
happened.
I understand. I'm not
Okay,
saying. I'm not
okay.
saying. I'm just saying. I get it. I
Time
get
out.
it.
Low. You have to understand how many people there are in this world and how many relationships and how many situations can happen, right? So,
Right, so
So
I-
you cannot
yeah,
speak for everybody.
I'm not speaking for everybody, but to that point right there, you just said how many people are in this world, how many experiences you
I
can
get
have.
where you're going with that.
Your
Listen,
job is
No.
8, 9, 10, 12, 14
Yeah.
hours, right?
That's
Cool.
how-
That's your job.
That's how we could think, right? That's how we could think.
All right.
Someone could come from fucking Nebraska. They ain't never seen people in their
Also,
life. They
like-
moved in with their boyfriend out to New York, but now they're meeting people and now they want.
Also, we're talking about like jobs we've had. Like this man
Right.
was the head coach of the Boston Celtics.
What does that mean?
Like-
What does that mean?
I
And
think
he
it's-
was fine.
He's making way
is
more
fine.
money. He lives a completely different lifestyle than any
Right,
of us.
okay,
Like, you're coming
okay.
from you're coming
No,
from a.
okay, so
you're
now-
you're coming from a point of view
Some
that,
bitches
like you said,
power positions.
you literally just said I could speak
a
from
lot of women like that.
you literally just said I could speak from a position of like I've been through this, I've seen this. Yes, you have, but that is from one specific point of view.
Mm-hmm.
This dude, again, I'm just using him and his example just because he's the topic.
Right.
But the dude was the head coach of the Boston Celtics, man.
What does that
like
mean?
he's world famous.
Damn
He's
good
a
coach.
multimillionaire.
It's
Like
just
he's
it's a power position.
he's in a powerful position. He's young. Like it's like, come on, son. Like
You're not
and,
saying-
and now he's in this position because
Of
because of that
course.
because
He's
of that
gonna be
paradigm.
alright, though.
but I'm sure there's
I'm
gonna be
sure it's gonna
other
be
people
fine.
like him. Like other people have come along. Other people have come in and done the same thing.
There's a lot of people that saying this is common.
Hold on, Jake. What did you have to say?
No, there's a lot of people from the NBA side who are saying like, "Oh, this happens like all the time."
Yeah, that's
like,
fine. And all I'm saying is
yeah.
I'm holding my standpoint.
Like-
You don't shit where you eat, and that's it.
A lot of the players I know
Or you
said
shouldn't.
You have
this
to
is
be
common.
You have to be professional though, to a degree.
No,
like,
so
you know,
a lot of people I
What's
know
up, bro?
have said this is common, but like I don't understand how this got out and a lot of shit hasn't.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's,
So was
that's,
this intentional?
That was the biggest thing. Well, when you listen to it, that's kind of why I went in. I'm like,
I
Is it
This was-
intentional?
Maybe
Because this
it's my-
happens all the time.
It's my
This was
internal
his point.
Boston hate also. I'm like, yo, like,
yeah, fuck the Red Sox.
this happens
and
all
the
the time. I'm
Celtics.
like, you got a
Okay.
young black coach, and then like, okay, this is why you're hanging this dude out to dry or whatever. Like, what about this other person? But whatever. Like, you didn't have, it could have been handled internally. But again, I could understand you can't just say a guy's suspended and not have a reason why. You know what I mean?
could
I
just
know how
fire
that
him.
looks even crazy. You can just fucking fire him. Like, which is what I would have done.
'Cause
Or I would just be like, yo, I quit. Like, I can't come back here. I already done too many things. Whatever here.
I done too many people.
I gotta go. I gotta go. You know
I
what I mean?
done
I'll
too
take a
many.
year off, pay me out my contract,
Yeah.
whatever. I'll take a year off.
Yeah.
By
No.
next season, they'll be lining up to have me be a head coach.
No, they're lining up tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
That's what I think. That Celtics actually didn't want him to go to another team where he could be an amazing coach and help them like improve.
And they'll
'Cause
be
they
like,
know.
why
And he
didn't he?
can though, right?
No,
Well, yeah,
he-
I mean, well, yeah,
or,
no,
or
but yeah.
contractually
But no,
can
yeah,
he
no,
not?
but like,
'Cause
yeah,
he's
fuck
the-
the
he-
infidelity, fuck all that shit.
No.
Just get us a ring.
No, because he's
Yeah, that's the
suspended right
culture.
now. So if he,
He can't contractually go anywhere else.
Yeah, no, you can't.
but if he was fired, he could.
Yeah, it's a
But,
weird thing.
but if they hold him for a year, they can just fire him at the end of the year, which
Gotta
is like
love-
a lot of people.
Damn,
think
that's
they're
why
gonna
he
do-
should have quit first.
Gotta love being one.
A lot of
you
people
gotta-
think he's gonna do that though. Like
gotta
just
love being like the 1% of America where you can do anything you want, and still get a job.
So, oh wait, plot twist. I
Good
love
song.
playing devil's advocate, right? Plot twist. What if he didn't have a relationship with that woman and it was a setup and she got him to have this conversation in front of the ring camera
what?
to set him up? I'm just saying.
Full hat.
Plot twist. Bitches be doing this. Because if she's married to somebody who
Ain't
didn't
no
like
woman
him,
ain't no woman in the world.
Or
not
he was
cognizant.
just fucking wrong.
no, I'm just
He
saying.
was just fucking wrong.
No, Lo, listen to me really quickly. I know a lot of spiteful women.
I was about to say, yo,
Right.
I don't know no woman on the planet. We got 3 women in here right now. Mandy,
I know
Jay.
mad spiteful women.
I know you can't hear us.
It's
but
possible that
if you have a ring camera in your house and you know
Like,
exactly when that
if your
joint
man-
moves any
no,
second,
yeah, if
wave
your-
your hand like
no,
this.
it could be a plan.
See?
It could be a it could be a plan. Like her husband was probably like, I don't want him. I want him gone. I know.
I'm telling you.
Hey,
You
come
can't-
over.
This is pretty much part 2
And
of what
I'm
you
just
of our last
saying,
episode.
I'm just
I
saying.
mean, it is a
like,
little hard
This
for
is
me
like
to
this
convince.
is
Yeah.
this is literally
we're
part
not
2.
gonna drop this one either.
Yeah, we might as well not
I'm
drop
just,
the other.
I'm
Like, this is part
trying,
2 right
I'm
here.
trying to like give y'all
And I'm
options.
trying to tell him like, yo, just don't. Just
Listen, this is
leave
what
it
I
alone.
do, yo. This is what I do.
I'm
when
giving
everyone
you
is here,
options.
I
when
dig it.
everyone is talking about one thing,
You gotta speak your
I'm
truth.
like, all right, there's something else under here. What are we
I'm
not
devil's
talking
advocate. I'm devil's advocate.
is-
Ring, right
Kaz
here.
is winning
ring
me over
camera.
a little
Look,
bit.
about? Thank you, Jake.
look, Kaz. Ring camera, right here.
Yo,
Alert.
Y'all got it. Yeah, let me see
So,
more Jameson, please.
If
there's
the
no.
husband
Leave
loves,
the Jameson alone. Just stay in this
Fuck, nigga, fuck outta
conversation.
here. No, I'm not saying in this conversation. I already saw what I said. What I had to say.
No.
Y'all keep doubling down on shit.
Listen to what I'm.
Good
No, I'm
Lord,
not.
yo.
Lo, look at me.
I mean, this is why we have the
I'm
show.
not
Thank you.
doubling down.
Yes,
What
you
I'm
are.
saying is, no, I wasn't even here for the first episode. What I'm saying is that I love to play devil's advocate and I love to look at shit. First of all, this is why I'm an overthinker because I look at things in 8 different perspectives before
Right.
I even do something. So I just rather not do shit. But also, I'm saying, what if it was a plan? Like, you know?
You think it was some House of Cards? Like,
What if it was some conspiracy, like political? Political,
No.
like political shit.
No.
What if it was some
But you
political
sound crazy. You
shit
sound
where
crazy.
he was like, I don't want him to coach no more. I want to bring somebody else on, blah, blah.
It's
And then
a
the wife was
policy.
I would
It's
believe
a-
you.
No.
I'd believe
Steve.
you if they didn't just go to the finals.
It's a right.
If they didn't just go to the finals, this
They'd
year,
be like,
But-
you know what? I
but
would
you know
actually
what?
bite. I would
But
actually
you know
bite.
what? How about this?
I would actually bite.
like if it was the Brooklyn Nets trying to get Steve Nash out of here, I'd be like, okay.
Okay, but how about this?
Then it's like, yeah,
see what
How
you're
about
saying.
this?
They
How
don't
about
need
this?
to. They could just fire him.
They could just fire him. Yeah.
How
but,
about this?
They
How
wouldn't
about they
embarrass a
didn't
white man.
want that coach to get them to the finals?
I don't know.
How about they just wanted somebody
Yeah.
else to get them to the finals?
Here's my thing.
They're like, we
All
got
right,
the
we're going
team.
too deep. We're going too deep.
They got the team, right? We're not trading players, but
You
I
know
don't
what
want
Rosie's
this
doing?
coach to do it.
Rosie's defending him because he's fine.
That's
He is fine.
That's
He is fine.
Because I ain't never heard her be this invested in
I'm like-
basketball. I'm like, nigga, what are
Wait,
you talking about?
First of all, what are you talking about? I watch every game.
No,
What are
she
you
watches
talking about?
basketball. all the
No,
time.
I'm a basketball fan.
No,
What-
nigga, yeah, I'm talking
what?
about like organizational shit.
Oh no,
I'm not talking about
saying
actual
that
like.
because I'm being devil's advocate and I watch a lot of Black Mirror.
There you go.
And I'm saying like
I'm just
you
saying,
gotta
like,
think about everything.
yo,
People are fucking sneaky, low.
But sometimes things are
Like,
very.
it could be a master
sometimes, sometimes things are. Just
You're looking
very,
at it from here. It could be here.
Sometimes things are very, very
You
simple.
got to overstand, Lo.
I'm not trying to overstay it because people like that over communicate with everything. It's like, yo, bro, sometimes it's just very simple. You shouldn't have did X, Y, and Z.
Sometimes.
And I think this is a case of.
Let me see what this girl. All right, let me see what these women look like.
We don't know. We don't know who they are.
But that
let me see
doesn't
what
make
these
a difference.
wives look like.
No, didn't one picture come out?
Nope.
No.
Let me see what these wives look like.
We don't know.
We have a lot of opinions for shit that we don't know about.
There was also.
We have a lot of opinions for
And
shit
this
we
is
have
why I
no
started the
idea
episode
about.
saying it's none of our business.
It is
but
none.
I love when we say it's none of our business, but we go into 45 minutes of conversation about that business.
I think this is a good time, a good
all I'm
place to
saying
stop.
is
right?
we don't know.
This is a great
I
way
think
to end the play.
I just table it.
Yeah,
Okay,
but hold on, Kaz. You think
No,
I'm
no, no, no,
wrong
no,
for
be quiet.
thinking? Oh,
No, stop.
I don't trust you in your Dahmer shade, so no.
Oh shit, dog.
I love them.
There
Rick
you
Ross
go.
wanted some. Hey, Rick Ross.
Good lord.
I'll send you the link.
Anyway, this has been a special edition of Say Less with KAZ, Lowkey, and Rosy.
So wait, we're not gonna talk about
What?
y'all favorite topic?
What's
What?
topic?
We're not gonna talk about Miss Riri going to the Super Bowl. We're not gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about that. Oh, we're not gonna talk about. Oh, so
We
we're
got
not gonna-
plenty of time.
Hold on.
We got a whole season.
Hold on. I just want to say a billy.
Yo, that's a lot. That's not even a conversation no more. I'm like,
No,
she's-
didn't I-
That's clearly getting $1 billion a month. Clearly.
No, she's still not.
I don't think she's
That's just you being stubborn.
I don't
No,
think,
she's
I don't
still
think
not.
she's gonna drop.
People
anything
have
after
done it
that.
already. People
Done
have
what?
done it since then.
$1 billion
yes.
in a month?
Yes.
Who?
Harry Styles. Like, mad people have done it since
Harry
since we've
Styles.
had this
Harry
conversation.
Styles did fucking 15 or 5 shows at the Garden.
And Rihanna's doing the Super Bowl, and you think
If
she can't do $1
Rihanna
billion
did
a month.
5 shows at the Garden, you think they're not selling out every night?
No,
First off-
I know that.
First off,
I agree.
first
No,
off.
I agree with that. Yeah. I
His
know.
voice got real low.
No,
He's
yeah.
like, hold
I had to
up.
hold on.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is you talking about?
All right,
I
my fault,
guarantee you,
my
it's
fault.
not the Garden that made him sell $1 billion in a month. It's the fact that he's Harry Styles, and Rihanna is more popular than
I don't know who
Styles.
Harry Styles
I
is.
don't know if Rihanna's more popular.
I don't know his
Yeah.
music. What's his music?
Watermelon sugar, watermelon sugar.
That shit is fire. That shit,
I don't-
yeah,
I don't know
watermelon,
that
watermelon sugar is fire.
Watermelon sugar. I just want
Hold
to
on.
taste it.
Hold on.
I just want to taste it.
That shit fire,
Harry
bro.
Styles, white man.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Talking about
whitest.
watermelon.
Yeah, like,
Watermelon.
nigga paler
and
than Jake.
You know what? Watermelon and
Anywho.
sugar. All right, I'm done.
I got a Jake.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
want
you
to
gotta
hop
go,
on my seat? If y'all want to talk,
No,
talk.
no.
I have to take this call.
Oh, no. All right, so all right, wrap it up.
YouTube.com/Kazine. Thank you for tuning in on this week's episode of Say Less with KAZ, Lowkey, and Rosy. Make sure you hit
I'm not
Patreon.com/Say
done
Less.
talking.
We're gonna talk. We got so much more to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
You know what? And you know what? We can have conversations within the Patreon, within
We can.
everything. I think we're gonna start something soon,
live
very
chats,
very
right?
soon. So we can have these conversations going. But this very special episode, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Like we always do with this time. Stay free, stay safe,
Uh-huh.
and always say
Say
less. We'll see you next
less.
week, people.